Lions get major injury update ahead of Bills matchup. Let's get it all figured out now before you leave your like and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date with all the upcoming Detroit Lions updates. Let's start with this major injury update, as the Lions just got the best news of the day. The Detroit Lions are heading into what will likely be one of the most challenging games of the season for them, taking on the Buffalo Bills on Sunday, December 15th at home. While the Lions are coming off a win over the Green Bay Packers on Thursday Night Football on December 5th, they are also dealing with multiple injuries, as was evident against the Packers. But on Wednesday, December 11th, the Detroit Lions got the kind of news they needed ahead of their matchup against the Bills, and it should help them significantly. Several Detroit Lions players are back. The Lions practice report for Wednesday, December 11th lists offensive tackle Taylor Decker and defensive tackle Alim McNeill as full participants. It also lists defensive lineman Levi Onwuzurike and defensive lineman Josh Paschal as limited participants. DJ Reader is still listed as a non-participant. It's certainly welcome news to see Decker and McNeill named full participants and Onwuzurike and Paschal as limited participants. What's even better is that no new players were named injured. So it doesn't look like the Lions will have any nasty surprises heading into the matchup with the Bills. Onwuzurike, Paschal, and Reader all missed the game against Green Bay, so having all three back would be a positive. Decker has missed the Detroit Lions' last 2 games with a knee injury. All 53 players on the Lions' main roster were back at practice on Wednesday in some capacity, which says a lot. Detroit Lions head coach Campbell elaborated on the Lions' injury status while speaking with reporters ahead of Wednesday's practice. He talked about where all the guys on the injury report stand when it comes to playing and practicing. Levi is going to go down, but he'll practice tomorrow, Campbell said. That's not a negative. Mac will be out there today. Paschal can run around. We'll see what he has. And then Reader, if anything happens, it'll be tomorrow. Of course, Lions fans can't wait to see Aiden Hutchinson and Alex Anzalone back on the field, but they're still on injured reserve. On the Bills side, USA Today's injury report analysis published on December 11th notes that the Bills are looking pretty healthy heading into the game against the Lions. The Bills report is mostly FP's full practice, and they have a couple of key pass catchers returning in Dalton Kincaid and Keon Coleman, noted expert Jimmy Liao, MD. They are also returning 2 players from IR, Balin Spector and Dewan Smoot, who are eligible to play this weekend. However, Liao notes that, in bad news, there are some recent concerns in the secondary in Rasul Douglas and Taylor Rapp. Back to the Lions. Regarding Decker, Liao says he feels confident in his return for this weekend's game. A suspected right MCL and right high or medial ankle sprain on November 24th caused him to miss 2 games, Liao said. The FP means he should play this weekend. Liao added, however, that he expects Reader to miss another game before he is healthy enough to play again. He dubbed Onwuzurike as having a good chance of playing on Sunday. Lions expect to add 6 feet 4 inches, 320-pound OL as future replacement for Kevin Zeitler. The Detroit Lions have the best offensive line in the game in 2024, but the unit could take a hit in 2025 depending on what happens with veteran guard Kevin Zeitler. Zeitler was signed by the Lions as a free agent last offseason to replace point guard Jonah Jackson, who signed a massive contract with the Los Angeles Rams that was a total disaster. After recovering from an injury, Jackson started 1 game before being benched and hasn't played since. It's safe to say the Lions made the right move by letting Jackson go and signing Zeitler, who has been an improvement and has allowed the frontcourt group to keep up. However, Zeitler will be a free agent next offseason and will also be 35 years old. So even if the Lions bring him back, it's likely he won't be a long-term solution for Detroit's unit. With that in mind, ESPN's Field Yates said the Lions will select 6'4", 315-pound Ohio State guard Donovan Jackson at number 32 overall in his recent mock draft. The Lions are looking for tough, unselfish players. Jackson fits that bill, Yates wrote. He's one of the best guards in college football, but he's moved to left tackle to replace Simmons at Ohio State this season, playing more than 50% of his snaps out of position. His willingness to play a new position speaks volumes about his draft stock, and he would help Detroit as it looks to the future on the interior offensive line. The Lions' starting guards are currently 32, Graham Glasgow, and 34, Kevin Zeitler, years old. The Lions already have a couple of potential long-term options on their roster in 2024 draft picks Christian Mahogany and Giovanni Manu. It's true that Manu was billed as a tackle going forward, but he's hinted that he could play guard. The problem with both players is that the jury is still out on them. Mahogany has only played 3 snaps this season, while Manu hasn't played any. If the Lions aren't convinced that either of them will be the guard of the future, taking someone like Jackson becomes a possibility. But as Thorne writes in his scouting report, Jackson could be a project, so it would be wise for the Lions to have some sort of insurance policy if they bring him in. In any case, we'd expect the Lions to bring Zeitler back for another year, which would give Detroit another year to develop the heir apparent, whoever that may be. Leave your comments now until next time.